What is up, everybody? How you doing today? My name is David Franco, and welcome to a somewhat short video of my reaction to the official reveal trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm a big-time gamer, that's no secret. And guys, lately, not gonna lie, I have been absolutely obsessed with my Switch, and actually to the point where I treated myself to the Switch OLED. Yes, in 2025. No, I'm not an idiot. I got it for just $128, and if you're curious, I will link that unboxing video right below. Anyway, guys, yes, Switch 2 is official, and yes, it's called Switch 2. I predicted that a while ago. I mean, there's people saying, oh, they're never going to call it Switch 2. They don't like numbers. They're going to call it Super Switch, which, by the way, Super Switch is a great name. I love that name. But I'm glad they called it Switch 2 because it's simple. It's obvious. I mean, especially to the people who are not in the know of gaming and technology like you and myself, fellow geeks and nerds and gamers and whatever. So it's pretty obvious. You know, this is not a Wii to Wii U situation. Switch 2 doesn't get simpler than that. So Nintendo, respect. And actually, this is the first time Nintendo has ever put a 2 in any of their consoles, besides the Nintendo 2DS. That doesn't count. Anyway, I'm going to do a reaction to the trailer. Keep in mind, I've seen this trailer numerous times already because I've already watched numerous videos on the Switch 2, and pretty much everybody has the same thing to say, but I do have a couple rants to get out. By the way, I am a little sick. I can just feel it forming right now, so if I sound like crap, that's why. Okay, let's switch over to the video. That was actually not a pun, but that was a beautiful pun, so I'm going to keep with that. I love it. Let's go. Also, in case you didn't know, I do live stream on YouTube multiple times a week now, so subscribe. Check me out. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. By the way, Nintendo, please don't hit me with anything copyright related. I'm just doing you guys a favor here. This is beautiful, by the way. Like, I love how they did this. It's so quiet at first, and a complete reliance on just, you know, sound effects and music. There is no narration or dialogue whatsoever. But of course, that's coming on April 2nd in the official Switch 2 Nintendo Direct, which I will be doing a live reaction to on a live stream here on YouTube, so stay tuned. God, look at that bezel. My gosh, she had a thick one. I love that so much. Beautiful. I love what they're doing here. Just a simple presentation showing, look, you love your Switch, and we're going to make it better. We're just going to make it bigger and better, give you more ports, all that stuff. And that's where my first miniature rant comes in. Guys, I just got to say this. What did you expect? Like, for anybody hating on the Switch 2, you have no right to. Okay, fine, you do have the right, but you also have the right to have a stupid opinion. I'm sorry, guys. I'm as real as it gets. I don't give a shit, you know. But like, what did you expect out of this? Think the new iPhone every year. Nothing is usually dramatically different because the iPhone foundation works. It's a formula that works for the business, in this case, Apple. And the Switch is one of the most successful video game consoles of all time. It quite literally allows you to switch between portable and docked at-home gameplay. And that's incredible. So why in the hell would Nintendo mess with a formula that has been working extremely well, making them literally millions and billions of dollars? You know, there's certain categories of people who just, you know, love gaming, and that's fine. But there's also people who love gaming and understand business at the same time. And I'm of that second category. I understand how businesses work. It's not that difficult. So Nintendo, what you're doing here is just genius. Honestly, it's not even genius. It's stupidly simple. You're giving us a better, a newer, more modern Switch experience. And I respect that. Seriously. I respect that. I don't know what people expected, like a personal sexual pleaser out of this, I don't know. Just relax. Like, this is a solid upgrade. Love that audio, by the way. Question for you though. Like, I never take the Joy-Con off of my Switch. I mean, if I'm playing in docked mode, then I'm using the Pro Controller or a third-party controller. But the question for you, like, if you do take your Joy-Con out, explain to me a situation where, you know, you're actually going to use your Switch at this steep of an angle. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I mean, it might be one of those awkward positions. Maybe you're in an airplane and you're gonna, I don't know. I have no idea. But hey, the fact that they're giving you flexibility literally is awesome. That's huge, literally, because that tells us that the screen is going to be significantly larger than the Switch OLED display, which is currently 7.0 inches. Guys, I have one downstairs. I love it. I love that Switch so much. And guys, I'm telling you, going from 6.2 on the OG Switch to the 7.0 OLED Switch, huge difference. It might not seem like it's huge on paper, but it's like going from the iPhone 14 to the 16. The smaller bezels and slightly larger display, you're going to notice right away, and it's really, really hard to go back to how things once were. And I love the all dark gray with color accents look. I just think it looks very professional, yet fun. We still don't know what that button is, though. Not that one, but the other one. Right here. This is that rumored C button. Of course, they're not showing the letter C, but it is rumored to be campus or community or a chat, something like that. Either way, I'm excited to find out what that officially does on April 2nd. And guys, as someone who games regularly on PC, Xbox, not PlayStation because I sold my PS5. PS5 is overrated. I said it. I'm constantly online, you know, talking to people, whether it's in-game chat or friends on Discord. So Nintendo, it's about time that you give us a serious online infrastructure. Give us a friends list that is just easily accessible, you know, just by pressing a button. And I'm hoping this does that. Hall effect, maybe? Now, I personally have never experienced extreme stick drift, but I'm pretty sure that's Nintendo's way of saying, look, we're going to fix the issues that we had with the OG Switch, you know, with the Switch 2. Oh, and by the way, I say I've never had an issue because, again, I always use the Pro Controller. I've never had any serious issues with that. I may have had a little bit of stick drift in my PS4 days, maybe my Xbox controller as well. I'm not sure. But nothing to the point where it's been extreme because I do most of my gaming these days on PC. But still, that's obviously a huge issue with the OG Switch, and I'm hoping it's fixed for those affected on the Switch 2. It blows my mind that people didn't see what Nintendo was doing here. I mean, they're clearly showing that it can be used as a mouse, or they can be used as mice. I mean, hence the cable, the cord in the back, the wrist strap. I mean, it's clearly acting as a mouse. And I think this is really cool. This could mean the return of games like Mario Paint, which I would love. Like, I would literally cry. Okay, maybe not literally cry, but Mario Paint for me is one of my favorite gaming memories on the Super Nintendo. And guys, keep in mind, I've been gaming since the 80s, so I was there when gaming was rebirthed. You know, with the NES, the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, all that stuff. Like, that was the rebirth era of gaming. And honestly, I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't mean this in a personal way. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Guys, I feel bad for those who were born in the PlayStation and Xbox era. And for those who can't truly appreciate what the NES brought to the table. And that transition from 32-bit to 64-bit with the 64. Like, that was just a really good time to be a gamer. And I'm so glad I'm old enough, you know, just to appreciate that. And I take a lot of pride in that. And now, I'm not hating for anyone who hasn't played the NES or Genesis. I'm just saying I actually feel bad for you if you've never played the original classic consoles that came out after the Atari. Because it really makes you truly appreciate how far we've come. And that's why I don't get upset at videos like this video. I mean, Nintendo's doing a damn good job. The Switch 2 is going to sell like crazy whether you like it or not. I guarantee you. It's going to be an absolute runaway success, and I'm so excited to see what comes out of it. But yeah, anyway, the mouse functionality for games like Mario Paint, maybe like a real-time strategy type game like Command & Conquer or whatever, or even things like, what's it called? Pikmin. You know, games that need like a pointer-like system, or maybe Switch 2 will have a built-in web browser and allow you to use this as a mouse. I don't know. Or Animal Crossing, maybe an easier way to make patterns and stuff like that. But I will say, real quick, I just hope the mouse functionality is not something that's actively ignored like HD Rumble and the IR sensor in the original OG Switch. I just have a feeling, and I think I'm going to be right about this, in saying that I don't think a lot of developers, including Nintendo themselves, are even going to take advantage of the optical sensor too much. I think it's going to be like a launch day hype kind of thing. A few months go by and they're like, oh, that's right, we have an optical sensor built into the Joy-Con. But I hope I'm wrong. I truly hope I'm wrong. By the way, this is my favorite part of the video. Check this out. Dude, that audio design, Nintendo, your editors, look how professional this looks, but it looks fun at the same time. Guys, we have to see that again. Listen. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. And again, they called it Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know why anybody would doubt this. Like, it's such a simple business and marketing and advertising move. It's so simple in my eyes, but people still argued it. No, they're not gonna call it Nintendo Switch 2. Just because something has never happened yet in company history doesn't mean it won't become company history eventually. You guys have to realize, like, there's a first time for everything. There's a first time for everything. Like, it has to happen at some point. And Switch 2 is proof of that. All right, so this is where Nintendo goes pretty hard with the music. Mario Kart 9 pretty much confirmed. Now, we don't know the title. Maybe they'll skip 9 like a lot of companies seem to do, and they'll just call it Mario Kart 10, with an X, because that's a really good branding thing to do, just to really throw that Roman numeral in people's faces. I mean, I personally think it's fancy. It's good. It looks good. But realistically, they might just call it Mario Kart 9. So we'll see. This is one. Okay, I have two minor complaints here because I'm here to be honest with you guys. Now, obviously, the Switch 2 is going to be great. I have no doubt about that. But two things. Number one, much like the OG Switch, sorry, I'm getting text. The bezel is not perfectly even around. And yeah, I realize this is something we're not going to be thinking about while gaming, so it's not a huge deal. But this is, in my eyes, a step backwards as an OLED Switch owner. I love that display. So going from a thin bezel back to a thick bezel, that really bothers me. Like, it really does. Now, again, we're not going to be thinking about this while we're looking at this much larger display, which, by the way, we don't have an exact size yet, but it's obviously larger than the OLED display. But how much larger? Because the Joy-Con are larger, but the display is not close to being edge-to-edge like the OLED display is. But we'll see. Anyway, my second minor complaint is I was really hoping Nintendo was going to do something about this dock and like shave it off down to maybe here. That way most of the display is showing and the Switch 2 could be used as a docked clock, notification, maybe center, I don't know, photo album, something like that. Because I've said it in recent videos, guys, and I'm going to say it again right now. I really miss the days of the original Wii when I would come home or wake up in the morning and see that orbing, that orbing blue light. That told me I had something to look forward to, whether it's a message from a friend, an alert from Nintendo, maybe a free demo, something like that. But we have never really had anything like that since the Wii days, and I really, really miss that. So maybe they still can take advantage of the top of the display and maybe orb like a color appear saying, hey, look, you have an alert, or I don't know. That's just me being not picky, just hopeful, because I've always been a sucker for little gimmicks like that. So we'll see. Guys, we obviously have a lot to learn. Can't even tell you the last time I used my Joy-Con grip. Again, I'm a proud Pro Controller user. I love the Pro Controller. There is one thing I want to point out. Oh, well, hold on. So last night in my stream, someone said, well, David, what about the magnets? Are they strong enough? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because if you look carefully, if you go back, let me see here. Right there. Hold on. Hold on. Right here. So I think it's been pretty much confirmed via some 3D print rumors that I've seen on YouTube. These are the release switches. So while they're still magnets, I believe they're still locking in with some kind of physical mechanism, hence these little switches. So it's not like you're going to be able to just, actually pull the Joy-Con off the Switch 2. I believe you have to physically push the buttons in and then pull them. So these are kind of like safety mechanisms in a way. But I believe just locking them in via magnets is still going to be quick and satisfying. So there's no need to worry about that. And then there are some people concerned about this part. This is just Nintendo protecting themselves. The Switch 2 plays both physical and digital games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported. Guys, this just goes for games like, Labo, Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch, which might even still be compatible. I mean, we don't even have any confirmation whether the old Joy-Con will work with the Switch 2. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked because let's not forget, I believe the Wii U was compatible with the original Wii remote, right? I'm pretty sure. So I wouldn't be surprised if you can still play games specifically built for OG Switch accessories like Ring Fit Adventure on the Switch 2. This is just them covering themselves with those weird, quirky games that for whatever reason won't work. Example, maybe 1-2 Switch, which I believe requires the IR sensor. That will not work with the default Joy-Con on the Switch 2, but maybe they will be compatible. I don't know. Guys, there's a lot we still don't know. And there it is, April 2nd. Cool. Hey guys, there you go. Honestly, the best way of wrapping up this video is by saying the following. The Switch 2 is exactly what it needed to be. Something bigger, something better, something faster. And guys, last night, I finally jumped into Metroid Prime Remastered on the OG Switch. I know. I finally opened it. It took me forever to open it. So far, it's good. I mean, I'm no diehard Metroid fan. I don't know if I'm going to beat the game. But playing it made me realize something. The game looks great, and it runs in 60 frames per second while docked. And I believe it also runs at 60 frames per second in handheld mode. So look at Metroid Prime Remastered as kind of a template of what's already possible. On the OG Switch. Multiply that by at least, 3 or 4 times? And then the Switch 2, hopefully the default target will be 60 frames per second, 1080p docked, and maybe even some not native, but 4K upscaling or whatever, And guys, we also have Nintendo. We also have NVIDIA DLSS, which is just a very smart and algorithmic way of faking it, if you will. I'm not going to go into DLSS because I'm not the guy to talk to about that, but I have a general understanding of how it works. But I will say one more thing. Prediction of price. I would like it to be at $350 realistically, but if it's $400, I won't be shocked either. But anything over $400 seems overly expensive for most people, I think. But I have one minor prediction, and I don't think this is going to come true. I would love it. Unfortunately, I don't think the Switch 2 is going to be OLED from day one, which is going to hurt me. I mean, that really is going to suck. Because I love OLED displays. OLED displays are a game changer. What if, on day one, Nintendo says, look, we have 2 models. You could get this one, the OG Switch 2. Not that you're going to call it OG, but you guys know what I'm saying. You get everything you need, but if you want something a little more, with an OLED Switch 2, we also have that for, $50 more. I will gladly pay $400 to $500 for an OLED Switch 2. Just saying. Alright guys, there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Switch 2. Of course, this video went longer than I thought it would. I haven't even had lunch yet. It's already 2:12 p.m. And I feel a little sick, but that's okay. It's okay. I mean, I wanted to make this video, so... Alright, I'm gonna go downstairs, get some lunch, get some rest, or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. You guys take care. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on the Switch 2? Let me know right below. Again, it's exactly what I expected. Because I typically understand how brands work. I understand how the world works. Guys, they're playing it safe. And there's nothing wrong with playing it safe. Look at Apple. Apple continues to dominate. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every year or whatever. And I know it's been 8 years. But still, this theory, this concept worked beautifully 8 years ago. And of course, there's absolutely no reason why it cannot work again. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.